So my name's Scott Bolick. I am head of sustainability strategy for SAP. SAP, for those of you who don't know, is the world's largest provider of business applications. Essentially, we enable the processes of small, medium, and large businesses around the world to the tune of over 100,000 customers. My role within SAP is head of sustainability strategy, is to set our strategy for our internal operations, set our strategy for our solutions that enable our customers, and also I am responsible for our sustainability report. So I think when we look at sustainability, SAP, we made sustainability part of our core strategy in 2008. We'd always done a lot. A lot of that is what one of my technology brethren calls well-intentioned chaos. It are those things that we were doing because fundamentally we helped the world run better and we had a lot of initiatives underway. But when we looked at our strategy in 2006, 2007, we really saw that the world was changing. And why sustainability reporting is so important is that there are three primary drivers that are changing the game for businesses, that are making sustainability an imperative. And those three main drivers are regulation. There is emerging regulation, that is reporting regulation out of South Africa as an example, as well as supply chain regulation, where companies as diverse as P&G, Ford, Walmart, and now SAP are asking their supply chain partners questions about their posture on sustainability, both the social and economic side. So first, there is this form of regulation, which is both government as well as supply chain. Second major driver is cost. There's a firm belief that the cost for natural resources is only going to rise as water scarcity, energy scarcity, and other scarcities for commodities around the world hit us. And so companies are really trying to understand and be able to report on their use of those scarce commodities. And finally, there's a brand reputation risk. Increasingly, information flows around the globe at the click of a mouse, and companies recognize that they have to have their performance at another level. So with that in mind, the real question with sustainability reporting for me is not just the external reporting and integrated reporting externally, but also looking at how you integrate that reporting internal into your business. And when you look at obstacles, I think there really are two primary obstacles. Start with the obstacle of companies just trying to understand what's most important for them. What we're seeing in our customer base is companies understanding sustainability as something that they need to have as part of their strategy and really going through a process to identify all the risks and opportunities associated with sustainability in their business. Then attaching financial impacts to those risks and opportunities, and with that being able to determine what's most material for them. And what's most material really varies across the industries. If you're a bottler of beverages, it's access to water. If you are an apparel company, it really can be human rights in the supply chain. And if you're an airline, it's about safety of your airlines as well as energy efficiency. Once companies understand what's material to them, then they can go ahead and determine what are the core metrics for their enterprise with regard to sustainability. And only after you really identify what the core metrics are and set targets for yourself can sustainability reporting really take off. Because at that point you really integrate sustainability across all of the processes of the company, and you begin to become transparent and begin to report on those processes and that performance externally. And so I think, in summary, the first real challenge is identifying what's most important, what's material, and getting the executives in the company aligned on pursuing those. The second challenge really is data. The data that's required to effectively report for sustainability has traditionally not been fully automated. There are those studies that say, for example, on greenhouse gas, that 90% or more of all the companies are still in Excel. And I know this because 3 years ago when we first did our carbon footprint, it was in Excel. And I remember that I had the individual who was doing the footprint for us carpool with me about every 2 weeks so I could ask questions and really understand what we were tracking and how he was calculating that in Excel. And that's just one example, and it was one of the reasons why we decided that we were going to go ahead and automate our carbon management. And fortunately, we were in the position to buy a company which has the product SAP Carbon Impact now. which enables us to automate the calculation of our carbon. But I think a lot of companies have a long way to go to really get the same level of granularity, the same level of confidence, the same level of reliability in their sustainability their sustainability metrics as they have in their financial metrics. So I think that's the second challenge. In terms of what people can do with regard to sustainability reporting, I think that there is going to be a need for guidance. That guidance is going to come from non-governmental organizations. It's going to come from governments. It's going to come from industry organizations. But I think the most important thing for companies to do with regard to sustainability reporting and integrated reporting is get started. Start today. Be transparent and begin to dialogue with your stakeholders to understand how you can better incorporate sustainability into your reporting, whether that be a separate report or whether that be the longer term vision for companies to really begin to integrate it into the financials. And finally, I think with regard to SAP and what SAP is trying to do, I do wear two hats. One, on a practitioner level, I really, along with our Chief Sustainability Officer and our executive team, are trying to push forward the realms of sustainability reporting. And we've progressed from a PDF in 2007 to a report that we released this earlier in May, which is a fully automated report, online report, rich in interactive media, allowing people to leave comments, unfiltered comments directly next to our performance, where we're really trying to make sure that we have held ourselves accountable for each of the core 11 metrics that we have with regard to sustainability. And I think as you go through that process and as you report more, particularly more in depth on those core metrics for your organization, what you'll find is you get a wealth of information and a wealth of knowledge from your stakeholders that allows you to push forward your performance and also enables you to understand those areas where you need to increase transparency for people to feel comfortable with your sustainability operations. My second side is on the solutions. And when we look at our solution strategy for SAP, our goal really is to enable companies with integrated reporting, and that includes at many different levels. You can look at our sustainability map on our sustainability report, which is really our vision of what it takes to be a sustainable enterprise. And when we look at enabling integrated reporting, we start with the core processes, making sure sustainability is embedded in those processes. We move into those applications that allow sustainability to be embedded in the core business processes, performance processes of the executives. And then finally, obviously, we're looking at providing those solutions longer term that enable people to report out into the world. So it's a journey that we're on. I think all of us are on a journey. I think what's exciting when I look at SAP and when I look at SAP's partners and when I look at SAP's customers is that there's a common understanding that we're on this journey of sustainability to include integrated reporting. And there's a tremendous amount of interest and a tremendous amount of sharing so we can all push ourselves forward quicker.